Welcome to Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Phil Bussey, the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to take a look at a game from Bittel and David Howson music. Thomas Was Alone. Okay, so I played this game a lot on I played through it all the way through on PlayStation 3, I think. And I remember liking it a bit. It's not a particularly challenging game. The basic idea of it is to move various squares into various spots where they belong. But there's a little bit more to it. In fact, there's like a weirdly wordy story for it. Let's go scenario select. Yeah. This is the demo version, so all this other stuff here should be locked. Yeah, I remember it actually having a really good story. And then there's also a commentary with the director for it, and it's one of those Knit. Yeah, Knit, I mean. Yeah, what was that? There's Knit, Fez, Thomas Was Alone, Whoa Dave, a couple things like that weren't on the Switch yet, still aren't on the Switch yet in some of those cases. Knit Underground is the one that they should bring over to Switch that they haven't yet. Same with Fez. I know Braid is coming to the Switch at some point, like the remastered version. And we already have stuff like Bastion and I'll try to think of some other good ones. But no, this one here is, well, I guess the best way to demonstrate is to show it. It's got some really good music. The program was a failure. People forget this. It was a massive flop. The coders started adding names, strings to the AI as a joke. Thomas AT 2361, blah, blah, blah.
Thomas was alone. Wow. A weird first thought to have.
Okay, we're going to turn this up a little bit because I forgot. The big charm of this is, while it's really simple, it has some really nice storytelling by a narrator. Really simple gameplay.
Thomas decided to start listing his observations for posterity. 1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere. He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
I think it really helps that the narrator is British. So you get that weird little thing, it's like John Hurt telling you a story. You just kind of have to listen to it because it's John Hurt. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
Yes. Jumping.
It worked. Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
Okay. Real thought here. Now, I finished this game before, and I thought it was pretty good story-wise. I went through it, played through it with the commentary from the director for what they're trying to go for. It doesn't have a lot of challenge to it. I mean, once you're moving 3 or 4 different characters around, they all have their own personalities and how they feel about each other. It really kind of pulls apart what the game's actually about, which is its storyline. Because outside of the storyline, this game is pretty dull. But the story is what makes it.
big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
Yep.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment. He was starting to suspect. This all seemed a little dangerous.
So you got that thing, and it doesn't respond, so...
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment. He was starting to suspect it might even be doing so on purpose. Paranoia.
By the way, this game is really cheap on the eShop. If it had, like, I think it still has a pre-order option for it, so I'm probably gonna already pre-order it. It's like really cheap, because it's worth playing through at least once. And for the price of admission, you're getting like a 3-4 hour game. So, with a little bit of replay value, because you want to replay the scenarios with, well, the commentary, and you kind of want to get a lot of those little collectibles that are in there. Also, the music. This is good stuff. It's one of those wonderful little experimental games.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
I do have to say, though, that Thomas is Alone is one of those games where if you're going to start being pretentious when it comes to video games, you start with Thomas is Alone, Alone, or Fez, then you graduate to Gone Home and Firewatch. And then, sooner or later, you find yourself trying to defend Life is Strange, being like, no, it's brilliant. Or you play through this.
Paranoia again. But Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills.
You complete it, think that's a nice experience.
Designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No. Too obvious.
And then you think, well, there's some better games with better gameplay, like, say, Hollow Knight or Iconoclasts. You know, that guy who made Iconoclast also made a game called Noito Love Devolution that's on the 3DS and really should be on the Switch. Someone needs to, like, bug him on Twitter. But don't bug the people who made this game on Twitter. Likely because they're the type that went to become pretentious, where they're sitting there trying to tell you that Life is Strange is a good game. Having some pretty good achievements on the PS3, to be perfectly honest. I think it's also on Xbox One. But like Knit Underground,
something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
Nice.
He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided. The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
Yeah, the first time you play through this game, I actually suggest you let the story play out. You know, listen to the whole thing. Go on to all the weird little different paths. Just kind of take your time with it. It's kind of a little bit like What Remains of Edith Finch, or what's another good one? Gris. Yeah, this is one of those that intended to be experienced more than quote played, end quote. Although Gris is a masterpiece. Thomas Was Alone is like an amazing student project that somehow became much. Let me check and see what this game designer's done since then. Let's see here. Let's see, yeah, it's by Mike Bithell, who has done... Oh! I haven't played Volume, but Subsurface Circular and Quarantine Circular are this guy's games as well as the John Wick Hex game that came out, and something called the Solitaire Conspiracy. But nah, out of his games, I played this one and Subsurface Circular and Quarantine Circular, both of which I didn't realize were his, but thinking back to it, I should have known. Those ones are definitely great experiences, and they're cheap as well, so if you like narrative games, you should probably check out Thomas Is Alone when it comes out. Or, because Subsurface Circular and Quarantine Circular...
The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper. He was evolving. He just wished he had someone to share it with.
And herein lies the secret behind this, which, by the way, I'm not going to actually do a video for Subsurface Circular, Quarantine Circular, because they are very, very story heavy, and we're just kind of tapping the surface of Thomas Was Alone. I really do feel that, like, if you think games are an art form, which they are, and you want to appreciate their ability to evoke emotion or so, maybe pick this one up. I'm not saying that you might cry at certain stuff in later levels, but I'm not saying you won't. But yeah, let me know if you've played through this game, and what you played it on. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up, share button, subscribe button, and ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG.
Chris took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
Oh man, I forgot the characters' personalities. Then you have to get both of them into there to finish the level.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not actually. Not technically graceful, it's probably the wrong word, but, you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
If you haven't figured out what kind of game this is, the multiple voices that the narrator's doing for each of the different characters is kind of a good clue. Okay, let's help Chris up a bit. There you go, Chris. There we go, a portal just for me. And here we go, Chris. You can fall now. He's good at falling too.
Okay, this was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Oh no, Thomas can't get there. Let's do this.
Great. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
Go. Up, there we go. Yay! There we go. Oh, but don't worry, there's much more complex stuff that happens.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point. Boop.
There we go. But yeah, now you've kind of got the gist of what this game's about. And it's mostly story.
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
Nice. Okay, so let's move over here a little bit. Gotta wait for that to come back. But yeah, let me know in the comment below what you think. This is Thomas Was Alone, rather the demo for it. You can actually check out this demo right now on the eShop, and I think the game comes out on like the 4th of February. I'm not entirely sure. There we go. And now this one is a significantly more dangerous path.
John knew. He knew that this was his chance, a moment to shine. This was game day. This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things. Where did they come from, anyway?
Now, I think the best way to describe this now is that, we're at 3. We're going to end up with a couple of these levels where there's 5 or 6 different characters with different skills. It gets pretty complex. Nicely. But yeah, we're going to actually go ahead and put a stop on that right here. There's also commentary on every single level from the director and the game designer explaining some of the concepts that they want to go through with this game. I'm not going to spoil any of the story stuff, and I really think you should check it out yourself. This is not a formal review of that, though. This is more of a look at the demo, which you can also try. And trust me, you're gonna want to check this one out. There's a lot of levels in it. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit the thumbs up, share button, subscribe button, ring that little bell so you're notified whenever we have a new video here on Area DMG. And until next video comes out, you are now caught up. Morning, Maya.